Hi everybody, it's Kathy here from Kathy Loves to Scrap, and I'm coming to you from the land down under. Today is the third Sunday of the month, so I'm joining into the Stretch the Sketch YouTube hop, and I have stretched this sketch by Laura Whitaker across 2 pages, and I've made a 12 by 24 layout here of my son and his Star Wars collection. So I have my son with the Mandalorian helmet here, I believe that's what it's called, and the dark saber. So I asked him which photos go with which, because he has lightsabers and helmets that match, and I needed to find which one. I'm using a Kaisercraft paper here, and it's actually a Christmas paper, but I like the background here. It gives a spacey type of effect, and I'm glad I've got 2 sheets, because as you see, I actually cut it incorrectly to stretch this sketch and have to work and stretch it properly. So I've got this great layout paper here, and I have to decide which side I like, but I end up settling on the stripe side of it. So this too is also a Kaisercraft paper. I've got 2 black cardstocks which I'm going to use for my framing, and also I'm cutting out the middle because I do need to mount my photos and do a lot of die cutting for this layout. I have used my Cricut a bit, and I've created symbols from the Mandalorian, and I've also created silhouettes of what's his name, Din Djarin and Baby Yoda, as well as Bo-Katan. It took a long time to get Bo-Katan. It was hard to find something that I could convert to an SVG, and then when I did, I had to clean it up quite a lot before I could use it. So I'm cutting my paper here, and this is where you'll see where I've cut the paper wrong. I thought I was being smart cutting both papers at the same time, but in the end that backfired drastically. So I've had to do some patchwork and rebuild the pages, but you'll see that it works when I've got that second sheet. Thankfully I had that second sheet. I am and ah about the direction, but because I'm stretching the sketch, I want to be true and stretch it properly, and so therefore I haven't reversed the sketch on the second side. I've actually stretched and carried it across so that the bottom diagonal goes right up as opposed to coming back down on the slant. So this is where my patchwork happens, and you can see that I'm just, patchworking it across slowly, and I cut it there, and that's when I realised, no, I've actually cut it wrong, because I don't want it to slope the opposite way. I want it to keep climbing on this incline. So just goes to show, you can make mistakes, but then you can patch it and you can fix it, and you can just carry on, and your layout still works out. As I said, my son is a big Star Wars fan. I ummed and ahed about going upwards then downwards, and then I realised, no, I really do want the diagonal to carry across. He has himself, I think, 4, possibly 5 lightsabers, and his brother's got 2 and 3. I don't know. I know that there's 8 lightsabers in the house somehow. And I know that he is the helmet collector, and he's got 6, I believe, at present, maybe 7, and he is telling me that there's more coming, which is great. And I keep saying to him, really? But I started it by buying him his first one, so I can't complain too much. And he loves Star Wars. This is a fallback from my dad, and the boys have always followed Star Wars, and Owen in particular loves the Mandalorians. So I have cut out their symbols for their clan, or whatever they're called, tribe, whatever. I don't know. I'm not that big a follower, but they are, and they will know what I'm talking about. Anyone who follows Star Wars will know what I'm talking about. And I did them in the negative as well. So because my son tells me that the dark lightsaber passed hands from Din Djarin to Bo-Katan, and that's why there's the 2 different helmets. So I don't know, haven't watched the new lot, don't understand, but he does make sense to him. So, and given that it's his layout, that's fine. So I'm just tucking these in. Where the sketch had flowers around as clusters, I'm using these clan signs as my cluster embellishments. I'm popping the centre one up on foam tape, and I do the reverse on the other side. And I realised that I need to change those so that I have them on the right side. I found this scrap paper which tied in nicely. I thought with the round symbols on it, it looks clannish. It is game worthy as well, so I've made the 2 tags for that to go in behind, and I'm only putting a tab onto one side of the page. It's because the other side is a little bit shorter, but it's also got the bigger die cut on it. And I fuss around with the placement, which is really unusual for me, but I take a long time to decide which way I'm going to put these embellishments. The silhouette there, I then realise I need to put in the title. And this is a quote from the Mandalorians, and it says, "This is the way," and that's this is the way the layout's going. So it tied in nicely, and my son was very impressed that I had managed to get his little clan icons happening, and I was able to cut out Bo-Katan, because it really was quite fussy to get that SVG cleaned up enough to create. So here I'm gluing down Yoda and Din Djarin. They're the outlines for these ones, and that is Din Djarin's helmet. This is Bo-Katan with the clan, with the symbol behind her, and that is her helmet. So that is why they have those 2 there. And these are Mandalorian die cuts, and because they are both Mandalorians, that's where it all ties together for this layout. As I said, I'm only going by a little bit of what I've read and a little bit of what my son's filled in. I don't actually know. I'm not into Star Wars as much as I used to, like with the early movies. So this is how this has come together. I'm now going to add the sequins, which you can see in the sketch are around. I've got some sparkly navy blue, which ties in nicely, and then I also add some silver later on. And I'm really sorry you can't see the other side, because my workspace is not that large, and working on a double, as I said, is not my usual way of working, but stretching it has been a challenge, but it's been a great challenge, and I like the concept. So I am persevering and, yes, fussing around and getting them all into place. And I'm really sorry you can't see them being put down on that other side, but it's pretty much mirroring the same as the left hand. And when you see the close-ups at the end, you will see how that has mirrored across the page. And I have added down the bottom, which is not on the sketch, but it was too much white space, so I just wanted to add that's where my title and everything was going to go, and I was building from there. And that's the whole idea about a sketch, is that it's the idea and then you make it yours. So I really do like how this is coming together now. I must admit, I fussed forever. Just writing in here that this is his collection. He's very excited. He was very excited when he got this new lightsaber. He wanted to show me. He couldn't wait for me to take a photo, which is pretty unusual because the boys won't let me take photos very often. And I was able to add that. I've added Bo-Katan there so that you know who that is. I've added Din Djarin there, and he's known apparently as the Mandalorian, so that's what I've put in there as well. And yeah, that's my layout. Now there is a playlist playing along. Make sure you check out everybody down below. I'll make sure that that's in the details. There's the sequins, as you can see. I'm built up with all of those clan symbols and the die cuts, and instead of using the flowers, I went with the die cuts. And this actually turned out to be an impressive masculine page. It is very themed, and I like how it came out, so that was pretty good. And I can honestly say that my son was very impressed with the layout, so that's all that matters, seeing as how it's going to his album, and he's the one that's going to have it and be in his memories. So like I said, check out the playlist below. Everybody is playing along on this Sunday. It is the third Sunday of the month. This is my first time at stretching the sketch. You can see how it came together here as a double. You can see all the details. That's the left hand side of the page and the right hand side of the page, and Yeah, there's the details. That's how they've cut those on the Cricut. I created the SVGs and I designed them myself. I'm still learning to piece together and play with the Cricut and get what I want. I'm happy with the die cuts there, how they've come out. I have those metal dies. This one here, as I said, I had to clean this up a lot. And yeah, so I'm Kathy from Kathy Loves to Scrap. Hope something here inspired you. Give me a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to all the other players along the way. I hope I've done enough to make you interested and subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just hit that subscribe button. Leave me a comment. Give me some feedback. I always appreciate it and I will get back to you. You can find me on my socials under Kathy Loves to Scrap, especially Instagram where all my layouts end up, even those without videos. Once again, thanks very much for spending some time with me. Happy scrapping. Until next time.